que para Dios no hay nada imposible. En Aliento Radio, siente, respira, vive.
Hola amigos, es Danilo Montero.
Hola, este es David Escarpeta.
Hola, soy Daniela Barroso.
Hola amigos, soy Cristín de Clario.
Hola, somos Blessed.
Hola mis amigos, soy Benjamín Rivera de la tribu de Benjamín.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Les habla José Adrián Romero.
Hola, soy Andy Alemani.
Hola, ¿qué tal mi gente? Les habla Alex Zurdo y a todos los que están en sintonía.
Hola amigos, soy Alex Campos.
Hola amigos, les saluda Lucas Consuegra de la banda Living.
Hola amigos, te saluda Mónica Rodríguez.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Les saluda Josué del CID.
Todos ellos, sus mejores canciones y muchos más hacen parte de la programación de Aliento Radio. Estas son las redes sociales oficiales de Aliento Radio: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter y YouTube. Encuéntranos como @Aliento Radio Oficial. Aliento Radio Oficial.
Hey Houston, hey world, this is Vicky Cruz with the Hero Network, and alongside with me is here Mr. Victor.
Hi everyone, Victor Escalante here. We are launching the first inaugural show of the Hero Network. Vicky, how you feel?
I'm excited. I'm really excited, more so because we're not just Facebooking this thing, or we do have our podcast on Mission One USA News. But we're now with Aliento Radio.
We're taking it to another level.
To another level. Partnership is what it's about. So what we're doing here today is to talk to you about the Hero Network and what it stands for, what we're doing, what we've done, but what we are going to do with your help, because together we can do more.
We got some great things lined up for you as a producer and an expert in programming. We are here for children. We are here for families. We are here to help you, to guide you, to provide useful programming that you can use right away.
Absolutely. So a little bit about the Hero Network. And before we get started, let me tell you what the acronym stands for. It stands for helpful, encouraging, respectful, and on task. And you may be saying, what does that sound like? Yes, it sounds it's coming from a veteran, because that's exactly where it's coming from. Basically, it's past experiences, education, just all mixed up into a program that will just empower families, children, most importantly our children, our families, schools, and our home. And it'll empower communities, empower togetherness. I hear that phone. I'm like, is somebody calling me already?
Yeah.
So that is nice. Wow.
I'm going to put it very simple. It's Vicky's Juju, okay? for helping children and for helping families.
I love it. Yes. And so, well, I know we being single, I'm a single parent. Yeah. I was a single parent. He's single. I was a single parent, and I'm single too, but single parent. And so it takes a lot of work, a lot of energy. And so I'm just beyond grateful. Along with the education that Victor has, I also bring the education of having a human services master's degree, and along with mediation, coaching. Victor's also a coach. He's done some impeccable things. And later, as we're going and growing with this show, we're going to share with you all the great things that he has done. But what's more important is what's happening right now.
And you. It's like, this is about you. This is not about us. This is like, we are here to serve you. We are here to bring you useful information that you can use in raising children, helping families, healing those divides between family members that have kept us from really relating to one another as spiritual beings, as loving human beings.
Yeah, and not just that, it's about being empowering, right? We believe that together we can do more. We believe in unity in the community. And through the Hero program, with working with children, adolescents, and watching firsthand experience the desperate needs that are going on in our schools.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, we're in
trouble, and nobody that we know of is doing anything that is substantive and meaningful in order to help the children and families.
That's right. And so together with community partners and with expertise, experts, this is about all of us coming together,
Yes.
right? We live in a nation that is full of diversity, a nation that has different of everything from food to religion to places of just anything. The way we
And
raise
Houston is ground
languages.
zero. Houston is ground zero for ethnicities coming literally from all over the world. I read one study, Vicky, that there's over 100 languages that are spoken in Houston. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Now, so what does this have to do with you? It's about being inclusive. It's bringing everybody together. It's sharing the commonality that we have in common, which is children and families.
Absolutely. And the community. So before we get started, as we may mention, it stands for the acronym Helpful, Encouraging, Respectful, and On Task. And as you're watching us today, I told Victor, I said, did you mind if you just give me 1 minute so I can share a quote? And he said,
yeah, go ahead.
So we can kind of elaborate on this one here to encourage you, right? We want to maintain, encourage, and we'll talk about that. So a quote here that says, written by Eric Thomas. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back. Ralph Marston. It says, don't make
He must be a wise guy.
He must be a wise guy. I'm like, you know what? We're just going to go to Ralph here.
Okay.
It says here, don't make excuses for why you can't get it done. Focus on all the reasons why you must make it happen.
I can attest to that. It's like no excuses when it comes to getting things done with the Hero Network. It's like we are working behind the scenes very hard to bring you everything that you need to be informed.
Absolutely. And so with this encouragement here, I want to discuss some of the things because Victor and I have gone out to different areas, different facets around the community, whether it's been working with working in an after-school program, going into shelters where there's, abused women. We've gone into working in apartment complex, into schools, JROTC, different programs, right?
Don't
different
forget
areas.
The juvenile
The juvenile system. Yes, we have been working in that area as well. Why do we share that with you is because there's different experiences, right? So one thing, while we talk about encouragement right now, I just gave you the quote, and the positive thinking or just pressing through. We were at a situation when I think of that. Remember the one little young man that when we were at the bridge and we said, what do you do to stay positive? What do you do? So we asked the kids that, right? And the little one that said,
he says, the first thing I do when I wake up is like, I forget exactly the word.
He said, I speak positive.
Okay.
I speak positive things to myself. He said, I speak positive things to myself so I can, because if I'm not positive, no one can be positive.
Mind you, this is like a 6.
Too cute. Too cute. So the program Hero, helpful, encouraging, respectful, and on task.
Vicky, why don't you tell our listeners how Hero came about, the genesis of Hero? Go ahead.
Okay, so keep in mind.
And she's too modest, so I will fill in whatever she doesn't say.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so what ended up happening was I came out of corporate America, right? And if anyone knows Vicky Cruz, Vicky was not just in corporate America raising 3 kids and in the military or reserves. I was basically working with community. We're going into streets, hospitals, nursing homes, anywhere where I can just share love, hope, resources to people and just empower them, right? And as I journeyed on and through corporate America and working the jobs that I've worked in the training world and looking at all these needs, because that's what I did in corporate, right?
Yeah.
It's project management,
Yeah.
recruiting, human resources, make things happen and find solutions. I was like, came across all these solutions. And anyway, so long story short, I looked and in 2018, because it comes with a nice, pretty hectic story. But in 2018, after Harvey, because we had already had Mission One International before.
Yes. Yes.
So Victor will kind of probably elaborate and kind of make sense of everything, what I'm sharing. But to your question, 2018, I get into the school district and I'm like, oh my, just grab this because
lots of immigrant children that didn't speak English, lots of family needs, families that didn't have food, families that needed social services just to get the children to school.
Absolutely. Well, it was just, it's more than that, those situations. I mean, there are so many disconnects among children and parents and teachers. We have nothing that's actually tying the needs of our children, because at the end game, this program, and is about kids. That's my passion, and so in 2018 I got into the school district, and then after was one of those things that, is that our call? Okay,
we have a caller.
Oh, we have a caller.
Yay.
Let's see what this caller is saying. That was quick. I wasn't expecting a caller till hello,
Yes,
Hero Network.
You're on the air.
Who's answering the call? Hero Network. This is Vic and Vic. Who's calling?
Two Vics are better than one. Who's calling?
This is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
And I'm calling because I want to find out about your Hero program.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. We have an apartment complex full of children, and I saw it on Facebook, I think it was, about you all going to apartment complex, and I was wondering, how can we get you all to come out to our apartment complex? We're located on the north side of Houston, and I was wondering if that would be possible. Can you give me that information?
We go anywhere. You can write to us at Mission 1 USA and then the number, Mission 1 USA, number 1 at gmail.com, and we'd be happy to send you a form that you can fill out. We have it ready to go, and we will go anywhere within the listening region.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch YouTubers like, somebody's in Florida, call us over. We'll come to Florida, especially if you're in Miami or Key West.
Afghanistan.
So, when we... Carla, Sister Carla, and this is Elizabeth. She's Elizabeth.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Elizabeth. Yes. So we are we are in the north side right now as we speak. So if your apartment is in the north side and you said you found us in Facebook, what I would like is if you message me as well on Facebook on the Mission 1 USA site. That is our parent nonprofit. So go straight in there, send me a message. And like Victor said, email us as well. We read emails every day and we respond every day. So reach out to us that way. We would love to do that. Do you know how many children you may have?
Well, at least we got about 12 to 15 kids.
12 to 15. That's perfect. That's perfect. We've worked with children up to 100 children at a time. And we have different ways of, training them the Hero student program. So we look forward to that. Can you do that for us today?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Miss Elizabeth. We look forward to that.
Yeah. Be sure and tell others.
Yes. Okay. And be sure to like our page. Be sure to like our page and share it because we're really putting our kids. This is a movement. This is not just a network or empowerment. This Hero program is a movement for children. Okay. Can you do that?
You all are doing. Yeah, I will do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Wow.
Our first fan, Vicky.
Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. She's so sweet, little old lady.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So
we're live, Vicky.
She just sounds so cute. Maybe
she is.
So, listen, it's very important, and more than ever, that you were going back and you were asking how it all arose. So I was during COVID. Well, I started off in the middle school program, and I saw that there was just not a lot of needs, Victor, a lot of programs. And then later I went into elementary, and then in the elementary, it was right in the midst of COVID where we were just in straight up lockdown, could not bring in parents, could not bring in programs or partners. I mean, it was just myself as a wraparound specialist, and it was the children. And so instantly I grabbed and I thought, like, you know, we're going to go ahead and push this program in. And
let's back up a little bit because she's missing out the most important part of this. There were children that told her, Miss Vicky, I don't want to live.
That's right.
Okay, these are elementary children that they are losing family members from divorce. Grandparents are dying. The family doesn't have food because a family lost their jobs. So under dire circumstances, Vicky said to herself, this is not acceptable. Something's got to be done.
Right.
She had nothing other than hope and knowing how to inspire people. Well, she took that and unleashed inspiration and hope in children, and it transformed the entire school. All of the teachers, we have testimonials from teachers that we're going to be bringing you more information about how children wanted to go to her and be in the hero program because they wanted to be heroes. It's like she put them on a pedestal to where they were like little superstars. These little children just blossomed and they had something to focus on as opposed to doom and gloom that's all they were exposed to. Now, mind you, the schools are not to inspire you there. They're there to teach you subject matters, but not to fill your heart, to fill your mind with inspiration. And that's what Vicky did.
Well, you know, that was the first instinct. I mean, there was so much distress, and thank you for bringing that up. So we were just not in any times that, you know, the concerns based what happened in 2019 and 18 in the schools were way different than 2020 and 2021. I mean, you talk about the resources where all the community had to scramble on getting laptops, and teachers were in distress, you know, teaching children online and versus, you know, online and the children that were in person school.
And a lot of these families, mind you, these are immigrant families that
they're
they
not
don't
all immigrants though.
But a lot of them, they didn't have internet at home. So you give them a laptop, what are you going to do without internet? So again, under dire circumstances, the HERO program arose out of nothing.
Yeah, and just so you know, the HERO Network is it's nonpartisan. Our network, our mission, our nonprofit, our curriculum, it is nonpartisan. We basically come in
and non-denominational also. It's like all faiths. We reach all faiths regardless of whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu. It's like we go to all demographics because again, it's about bringing unity into the community.
That's right. So we believe in just cultivating and educating, and through this program, I mean, it's just not, again, they're not learning not just learning these values, but it's building self-esteem, motivation, organization, focus. These kids are driven. I mean, we had a story back at the women's home, working with a child, and her first 2 visits when we went out to visit was kind of a little distracted in the classroom a bit. And
we would also say she had attitude.
Yeah. So we would kind of just just reel her back in. Well, by the time graduation came in, and I would even say in the 4th classroom, you can see a night and day difference. Yes. I mean, this difference was, you could just see the shine and her caring, and she was just so much more respectable, adaptable, engaging.
We took that edge of being jaded. Mind you, a little girl that is already jaded, imagine. We took that off and we got her back into her natural, childlike self, which again, children in their natural state are godly because they're generous, they're kind, they're loving, they're peaceful. They are generous and hopeful. It's like they're just happy. That's their natural state.
And it should be, at least.
Yes. So when children are not like that, it's like they are already being impacted in their mind and in their feelings because they're being affected through the environment.
Correct. And so in this situation, we host a graduation, right? Bring in our partners. And, the mom said, hey, we've noticed a difference. I mean, my children are just coming in. They're taking initiative. They doing their homework. They literally, they're cleaning and, just doing things without being told. Like, it's a night and day difference. She's even saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. And we said, yeah, that's exactly what they should be doing, right?
Which is what we taught them to address us as yes, ma'am, no, sir. Because these basic elemental things are not being taught to children. Absolutely. That this is the standard. This is the norm. This is how we play life.
Absolutely. And so what we had did was, when the mom says, can you teach the other two children? I said, no, absolutely not. Not until we teach you.
Yeah.
We there's no way we can make a hero without, ensuring that our guardians, the mentors, the teachers understand the program. They have to understand what the mission is for the children, the child, to get them back into a society that when they grow up to become adults, youth, young, whatever the case may be, or they go into high school, that they're able to say no, that they're able to just recognize, set boundaries, and stand by those boundaries. Right, Vic?
Yeah. Do you remember that other girl that was a little older? She was about 12, 13, that she was listening to heartbreak music?
Oh, my gosh. So we do. There's a lot of creativity, lots of fun that happened in there. And she said one of the favorite things, but she was someone who did not want to talk. She's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So when we just started engaging and figuring out what she liked to do, she said she liked to sing. And we said, what's your favorite song? And she said a song that I can't even remember, but I do remember. But it was a heartbreak song. I was like, oh my God. I said, my heart is broken. I think she was about 11 years old, Vic. Yeah. And so I said, why do you listen to this song? And she's like, well, I listen to this song when I feel that me and my boyfriend are breaking up. And it was about her heart, being lonely and crushed and everything. Or she felt things weren't going right.
Remember, we're talking about an 11-year-old girl, okay? That this is how early they are being impacted by things in our society that children have no business whatsoever going down that path. And so continue, Vicky.
Thank you. So I forgot.
So this little girl, we asked her what made her happy, and she told us about singing this sad song. So when she started singing, the entire group of children started singing.
So we started singing all together. So as she started to sing her little song, and every kid, I was shocked that they knew the song.
They knew the song.
They knew the song. A 5-year-old was singing the song. I said, what is going on here? I was like, so later, we then talked about the song, and they gave us the opportunity and the push to actually just talk to the kids and say, guard your eyes, guard your ears, guard your heart. These things should not be happening, and this is around the time where it started testing, remember?
Yes.
Because there were times where we would talk to the kids about, like, what's really stressing you out? The kid says, STAR testing, the STAR test. We're just really, okay, well, let's handle this one here.
Yeah.
So we went through some little activities that time. And we talked about the inner critic. That day, we talked about the inner critic.
We have 10 inner critics, okay? Those are mental processes that are designed to help us survive. Right. What happens is that they stay with us for life unless we understand what they're trying to do. And so what we did with the children is we taught them how to not believe everything that the inner critic tells them. Because again, those are just defenses. They're useful up to a point, but you also can get them to be encouraging as opposed to constantly being critical. Imagine having 10 voices always criticizing you.
That's right. So I go back and we asked about, hey, how did this go? And how did the STAR test go? And did anyone, how did you apply what you learned last week? And someone who was about 9 years old said, Ms. Cruz, I had an inner critic tell me that I could not and I was going to fail. And then we said, what happened? He said, well, I spoke to the inner critic and said, that's not true. I can do this. Don't tell me what I can't do. And so he said that he took captive that little thought and said, you're not going to tell me this. You're going to just, I said, well, you got to really listen to make sure, he's like, no, I said, well, how did you do in this STAR test? He said, I did great. I know I did great. I did great. Yeah. And so these are the things. I mean, come on, who doesn't? We're adults. Who doesn't get these inner critic thoughts? I mean, these thoughts that, that we're not good enough or we're not worthy or anything like that. And so we want to encourage you as well as viewers and listeners and, truly, truly, if you have children, talk to them about these things. It's so important. These are baby. And I'll give you an example. I was one of those babies. I was one of those kids. And I told that to everybody. I said, you know what? When I was a little girl, I played softball. I love sports. I played with boys. I would, even without shoes, I'd get in the streets with, play football. But I'll tell you this, when you gave me a bat and a ball, I knew that I could do it. But you put people around me, that was like getting harder. Like, I'm in a team. I'm going to need to perform. Oh my God, there's people watching. You're going to have to perform. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, thinking about that little girl, that could not get, I just wanted to say, oh, my wrist hurts. I can't do this. Just throw in the bat and say, I can't do it, And so, I mean, we've got to truly think about ourselves. Like the little one said, hey, if I'm not empowered, if I don't speak positive things, be positive, or, it's about, he goes, if I can't encourage myself, that's what he said. He goes, I have to take care of myself. We have adults that walk around that can't even do that sometimes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. We have adults. We've got to stay so focused. We have to stay focused on how, what an impact we can make in the lives. Impact in your life, impact here. We've got to constantly just pinch each other to make sure, hey, Vic, are you okay? Meaning that, because there's so much work that we do when we put into this, like literally. So last year, they said, how did it come around? So last year, 2 years ago, I was doing great working in the medical field, making tons of money, building houses. And last year, I wanted to just give the curriculum away. It's just like, oh, I'm thinking about that. But I felt in my heart, like, don't do that. This is your curriculum. This is what you did. This is what you're truly passionate about. You loved waking up and doing what you did. Even during COVID, it was like, ooh, I got to go get that pizza, right? For the kids. Today's pizza party day. I was more excited than they probably. But it was like, when we have to hold and be that light, be that hope of encouragement, continue, because so many of us are struggling. So many of us are just, going through so much, concerned about the economy, right? Right now.
All those things you said, Vicky, reminded me of this. In our daily lives as business owners, as running nonprofits, all of that goes out the window when we go to be with children and they want to give us a hug on their own. They want to encourage us because of the work that we did with them. Our producer, Jose Luis, unfortunately is telling us that we're almost at the end of...
No, we're not. We have 10 more minutes.
We do? 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 more minutes.
I thought it was 10 seconds.
Yeah, like, no,
I'm
10
used
minutes.
to TV.
Yeah, so going back...
So I want to finish my thought. It's these children, they want to come up to us and give us hugs. That is priceless. You cannot put a price on children spontaneously out of the goodness of their heart wanting to give you a hug and needing a hug.
More so when we go into a place and the kids are so just suppressed.
Yes.
You see them where they can't talk and it's like they won't look you in the face. And by the time we leave, and there was an instance just this past week when we did that graduation or the apartment. what ended up happening is for one child, and keep in mind, I'm going to share with you this story that just impacts my heart and to why I know we are going the right path. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
There is no going back. I told somebody the other day, until this is it, like there's not much I can do anymore. I have to, Hero is my life.
Yeah.
And so
yesterday we were joking, but there's an element of truth that when Vicky is cremated and put into an urn, there'll be the logo of Hero on the urn, because that's the level of commitment.
Not just
that
the
she
Hero
has.
logo, Victor. It's going to have a cape.
Oh, okay.
That Hero is going to have that
An
urn is going to
with
have a cape.
What about the mask?
Burn the mask with it, because I'm going to have the mask on. So when you burn me, no, I'm just joking. It's got to have the mask on.
Okay.
So, burn it with me. No, or give it to the kids. No, they don't need it. So what's going on is, gosh, Victor.
The girl that her story impacted us. The girl with her siblings. I think that's the story you were going with.
Yeah, I was trying to go there with it. You stopped it. So I was like, okay, let's talk about this little family here. So this family, we meet them and it touched my heart. Grandma's raising the children. Why? Because the father abandons them. Father abandons years ago. Mother dies of cancer 2 years ago. And their older sibling, I'm going to guess he's about 19 maybe, passes away. So leaving behind 5 siblings with the grandma.
Yeah.
And the grandma, it's non-English speaker, and the children are all English. They speak both languages. But, the little girl's 17 years old, and then there's one that's maybe about 14.
They're stair-stepped.
They're stair-stepped all the way down to 8 years old. And the cutest children.
Yeah.
And the results is priceless.
Yes.
When we left, the little girl came in, and all of them, they gave that hug. We did a group hug.
Yeah.
To talk to the grandmother. The grandmother was in the classroom, so we kind of worked some activities to bring the family together. And then once we did that, at the end, we spoke, had the one-on-one conversation with the oldest sibling, gave her some resources, a very small plan, but we are going back to the apartment complex to talk to the youth between the ages of 14 and 19, a little gap of youth that either they're in high school or maybe 1 year into college community. If there's any, pray to God that we could find them. But to be able to help them, guide them, coach them.
This is what the older girl told me. Mm-hmm. She says, this was so encouraging to me to see my younger siblings have fun.
Yeah.
Because imagine, they've been going through grief and abandonment and loneliness with no fun in their lives. And for the older sibling to say that she saw that moment of joy with her siblings, playful and having fun, that meant a lot to her.
Yeah, so the younger sister that was underneath the 17, she totally impressed me as well.
Yeah.
But when I saw her at graduation, it was like a complete night and day difference. When I saw her in the graduation, she says, I know what I want to do. And she's 14. I said, what is it? She's like, I'm going to join the Army. She's like, I'm going to join the military. I want to do this. I want to join. And I was like, do you really? She's like, yeah. She's like, I think that's where I'm at now. Of course, she's 14. Anything could happen. But, but just to know that there was just an inkling of hope, an inkling of saying, you know what, I can do this and I can do anything.
And we hope to share that hope with you listeners and viewers so that again, it takes a community, and we need to come together to focus on the important things, which is children and families.
That's right. And when Victor and I get out there and it's like left, right, left, you've got to have the left to the right and the right to the left. Believe it or not, it's like we instantly can see in different areas with all the education and the programs that we've studied to come in and to uplift, even if it's by just a little stop and entertainment, a happy dance, or just anything. We make it fun. We make it, there's tears that come out of these classes. I mean, I work with several of the students that when I hear their stories, you guys, it's like some things that you just can't believe it.
We had one little girl that made you cry.
Oh, she gave me an encouraging card. The first class I go to, or it's not the second class because we were studying encouraging.
Yeah.
And we tell the kids, they draw cards, and the little one says, here's my card. I said, okay, well, you're going to take it. Well, she gets the card and she says, where is this going to go to? And she says, this one's for you, Miss Cruz. You know, and she wrote, I have it right there, right next to all my degrees and what have you. So she says, this is for you. And so I didn't even read it till I get into the car, and I read it, and she says that, you know, how kind I was, what a beautiful person I was, that I was so pretty. But it was just that little point, that I needed, because sometimes, you know, as you're going, and it's like
that day, I remember it had been a long day. Things were not going well.
Yeah, and I needed that. I needed that encouragement, and she had no idea what she did, and I was like, man, I did a Facebook live video on that, crying like a baby. Yeah, but it did impact me. These kids every day, they impact me. They amaze me to see where they want to go, how they're going to do it. See, we put them to work.
We teach them responsibility. And so, listeners, what we're going to do with the Hero Network is we're building alliances with organizations to help you.
Yes.
To help you with your children, to help you with your family needs. We also are going to bring experts to talk to us about mental health issues, family dynamics. It's like whatever you need, write to us. And we're happy to provide programming that is very needed for your families and your children.
Absolutely. And we want to hear from you. You know,
we do.
We want to hear from you. If you're ever here listening to us, there is a phone number that Aliento Radio does provide. I'm going to get that number again. So if you are listening, and I'm sure he can put that out there as well. That number, is it out here? No, it's not. While we're looking for that, it's 832-997-2728. If you're listening to this and you have questions, please reach out to us and know that someone cares. I mean, there is hope in anything. Our children, we probably have already, made how many cards? 200-300 cards, easy.
To take to nursing homes, to take to people on the street that are unhoused, people that have nothing, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine receiving a card by a child that put their heart into it to encourage you.
Absolutely. And so we welcome that. If you are a teacher, we ask that you please, we want to partner with you. Let's impact the community, the lives. If you are in need of encouragement, that's an easy turnaround. And so many people that right where you're at, no matter the scenario, we've had people, volunteers who are in, limited situations that are brightening and bringing hope to children, that are bringing hope to the community. We took one event or one outreach. We took our young adults, they're actually teenagers, our high school students. And keep in mind, these high school students, these kids went to school together the whole year, did not know each other. They did not know the whole year they went to school. And
some of them were even in the same class, but they didn't know each other on a personal level.
They didn't know each other on a personal level. They did not know the struggles they were having. So prior to going, they went to, we went to go get some donuts. We had the cards, and we had our little assignment together, Then we take off. I mean, that was already touching. That 1 hour before going was like life-changing for them, literally life-changing. Yeah. Then, because we wanted to make sure before the kids left that they were encouraged, right? We talked about what we were doing, why we were doing it. So we go into the nursing home, and the elderly ended up talking to the youth, and the youth ended up, it was beautiful. And there's pictures out there. Yeah. There's a video. Follow us, Mission One USA. Go to Facebook. The videos are out there. And these children just literally embraced the seniors. You know, they wanted a hug. The seniors asked for a hug. So
they said that they were reminded of their deceased grandparents.
That's right. They were reminded about their deceased grandmother. One child said, the volunteers of the child said, I never had an opportunity to hold my grandma before she passed. You know, but it gave them healing. And, you know, I'm going to call out one of the volunteers who we work with had so much anxiety. And in these months, to watch his confidence to say, you know, you don't understand, Ms. Cruz. I have a lot of anxiety. I can't deal with this. I get anxiety, you know, and I said, stop speaking that. Just stop it, you know? So we talk. Well, today, not even today, it wasn't even today. It was within a week of working with him and us doing some assignments and curriculum. He said, Ms. Cruz, do you really believe we can change the world? He said, do you really believe that we can change this world, that I can do something? And I said, absolutely. You're doing it now. And he's like, let's change the world together.
Yeah.
And that's priceless, man.
Yeah. This is a teenager that had no clue about what he wanted to do in life. And now the seeds have been planted and germinating about doing great things that impact people's lives.
Yes. So it's really important. We know that there's been some students that have gone back to school. You know, we're going to keep them all lifted up in prayer. There's some students that will be going back next week. And, you know, let's continue to encourage our students as, you know, this is a new beginning, a new school year. And stay on top of them. Accountability is important. Parents, we've got to, as parents, have to hold ourselves accountable, yes. Right? It's so important.
Yes.
And so as your child goes back to school, you know, I would encourage you with time management skills to ensure that, you know, everyone's getting enough sleep. You know, that we continue to watch what we're eating, you know, not eating too much, drink too much.
Watch that your children have just enough time to keep them satisfied, but not binging on electronics, because we now have the science that proves that it's bad for your health with your child.
It is. It is very, very bad. And I mean, you know, can cause harm. You know, the program that we do when it comes to Hero, it works. Hero is the answer. And when we talk about it, is because it's a passion, because it can change. And we're really excited about it. We need your support. You're like, Vic, how could we help and support the Hero Network? Well, there's several things you can do. One is share this video. Like Aliento Radio, like Mission One USA, follow us. You can help by following us on Facebook, liking and following us. Why? Because we're going to list out there the things that we need. We're looking for toiletries. The kids are giving out toiletries. We're writing encouraging stickers on there. We're working with law enforcement and to get, you know, meals out there. So we need lunch bags. So we do have an Amazon wish list that Nora's working on. And we do have, Nora is our secretary or one of our board members and workers, volunteers, facilitators. So we have that. We have needs. We have huge goals that require huge dollars, okay? But it works. If you are can be a corporate sponsor, I'm going to go for the shebang. This is what we need. But it comes with, we have solutions. There is a program that is being designed as we speak now that's going to be pushed. And so, but what we need is partners. We need partners. Okay. We're having a Singo Bingo event. Singo, not single. Victor.
I was confused.
Because he says, what's single mean?
Yeah, sign me up. I'm up for that.
So it's Singo, Singo. Like bingo, singo. So Singo Bingo. And what we're going to do is there's going to be music playing, right? By Rockin' Entertainment. They're going to play music and we're just going to stamp the music, right? And it's the country theme. And so while we play the single bingo. We're going to have raffles and auctions and things like that. So if you have an item, we need that. And we need you to buy a ticket. And even if you don't want to buy a ticket, say, Vic, I can't make it, but I want to contribute. We need that. You know, Victor and I left. Victor's always been an entrepreneur. I left my position, my role, doing sales very well. And the Lord said to me, God said, do you want to make money or do you want to make leaders? And I said, I want to make leaders. You know, I said, whatever, we are in an urgent matter. We need to run with urgency. Like, let's make leaders. Community, look into my eyes. Let's make leaders. Let's change the world. Let's bring unity in the community. It is possible. Like I told a young man that was struggling. We have
Jose Luis agreeing.
Yeah.
Our producer.
It's like, yeah. It's like the young kid who said, hey, I have anxieties. It's like, no, you don't need anxiety. We need to work. We need to work. We need to work. And so, America, we need to work. America, we need to work. America, we need to work. And we can do it. Together, we can do it. Yes, it's possible.
Friends, we're getting the signal from our producer, Jose Luis, that our time is up. We got 30 seconds by now. So thank you so much for joining us for inaugural edition of the Hero Network. Vicky, any final words?
Yes, follow us again. Share this video. We will be back next week
Every Wednesday at 10.
Every Wednesday at 10. So, you know, reach out to us. We want to hear from you. Call us, anything like that. Aliento Radio, we want to give you a huge shout out. Thank you so much, Jose Luis. Gracias a todos. And again, we can teach Hero in Spanish también.
También.
Yeah. And if it's got to be any other languages, si se puede. We can do it in any other languages as well.
That's all for today.
That's it.
Until next week.
Yeah.
Be sure and tune in.
Thank you so much. All right.
Tómate el primer café de la mañana con Aliento Radio. Hacemos una pausa, pero ya regresamos. Estas son las redes sociales oficiales de Aliento Radio. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter y YouTube. Encuéntranos como @Aliento Radio Oficial. Aliento Radio Oficial.